Welcome back. A day has gone by since we had our rubber bands and clamps on this. As I came in today, I took them off. And what you might notice is what I'm noticing, that I have some marks on my fretboard and maybe even a little rough spots on my edges of the fretboard and neck. And that's just from the rubber bands rubbing, and it might be from some squeeze out, things like that. Not a huge worry, but it's going to take us a little bit of time to clean this up. So I'm going to take some fine wet dry paper, fold it into my thirds, you know, the nice trick when you're using abrasive paper. And I'm going to use this and just lightly kind of scuff this and try and clean it up without removing my finish if I can. I am going to go back, this has True Oil on it, I am going to go back and apply another coat or two of True Oil just to help even things out and clean it up. With our acoustic neck, fretboard is glued on and all cleaned up and sanded. We got to put in some side dots. Remember, on the front of an acoustic guitar, it's really kind of a toss-up sometimes whether it's going to have fret dots on the front. So that's why we make it optional for class. But side dots are not optional. They're the ones that you're going to see when you're playing. Imagine this is your guitar, you're looking down, you're going to need to see those side dots. Now, where you put them kind of in the wood is up to you. Where you actually put them in relation to the fretboard and the fret wire is not up to you. You still need to follow the standard that everybody uses, 3, 5, 7, etc. At your 12, if you want to do something different or a double dot, that's up to you. Or if you're going to keep it more simple and just do the same kind of dot all the way down, that is fine. Side dot material typically is a piece of plastic that you can get from StuMac or eBay or a bunch of different places. Typically it's the same kind of size. So I have that. I have a mallet and I have an awl, center punch. That way I can punch where I'm going to have it. I have my drill bit that corresponds to my side dot material, and I have some CA glue, super glue. What I need to do is, once I've decided where I'm putting them, maybe I need to get out a ruler and mark it, or just keep in mind where it is that I'm going to put it. One of the tips I like is use the line that you have, the glue seam line, as a line of reference. Maybe you're going to use that line exactly, so the dot is half in the fretboard, half in the neck, or that you're down a 16th or whatever it might be from that line. If you are going to drill into your fretboard itself, you've got to be really careful. I've seen it many times where students will have the drill at an angle towards the front of the fretboard, or they go too deep and it will actually chip out your fretboard. That's the last thing you want right now. Okay, so if you do them in the fretboard, just be aware that you got to be really careful. Now glued all of our side dots in. The method I chose was just slightly below the fretboard seam, almost touching the fretboard seam. Now what I could do is take a sharp chisel and just kind of cut off these little nubs that are sticking out, and then hit it with a little abrasive paper. Then I'm going to go back and reapply some oil to my whole neck. At this point, I've cleaned up the whole neck, I've cleaned up the edges, any rubber band marks that are on it. Side dots are now in. Couple just light coats of oil just to refresh it and blend those in and such. is what I'm going to do now.